For those of you who don't know me, my name is Representative Mike Moran. I represent the community that this project is going to affect. By way of history, I want to bring us back to, and the senator is correct. This is really about us conveying to the people from DOT our opinion on what we see tonight. In the somewhat of 3 years that have gone into this, it's now our turn to say what we do or don't like about this. So generally speaking, I don't like to speak at these events because it's really your ability to speak, not ours. But I thought this was such a big enough issue that I wanted to say a few words and make a few points. It was spring of 2014, in the waning days of the Patrick administration, when then the Secretary of Transportation came into my office and put on the table in the office this plan, or one of these plans. And I made a joke back then. I said, geez, this certainly looks like Harvard's going to benefit a lot from this. And I made another joke, which didn't go over so well, but who from the administration is going to go work at the Kennedy School? Those are just jokes, guys. I'm just laugh at me. Come on. So anyways, that was in about the spring of 14, and then in September of 14, we had a nice ribbon cutting where everybody got on the train and. Isn't this wonderful? We're going to go into town, we're going to have train service, and people got excited. And people have a right to get excited about that because if you know the history of this community, we've been overlooked by transportation. And this line that came into our neighborhood from the suburbs and picked everybody up in all the W towns stopped when it came to Brighton and went right through our neighborhood and went right down to downtown Boston. And we were told that one of my first civic active things that I did was in the Weld administration up at the Veronica Smith Center. We had a meeting about future commuter rail stops. And they told us we couldn't get one in Brighton because it would slow down the trains coming in from the west, and we couldn't slow their commute to pick people up in Allston, Brighton. You know how much I really cared about that. But so we have a right to be excited because we've been overlooked on this line, and it was our opportunity to be excited about a transportation stop in our community that was going to pick up our residents and our neighbors to go into Boston. And then after the ribbon cutting and the ride in, we started a process which has been approximately 3 years. And I will be honest with you, I came to the first meetings, meeting after meeting. They were very long. I stopped coming, but my staff was here because they got very long. I'm sure most of you attended them. And now we're at this point after 3 years. And I got to tell you that what I initially saw in the spring of 2015 is accurate. There are winners and losers in this. Winners, certainly Harvard, they get all the land underneath this that they get to develop. Certainly people that drive in through our community on the pike, because now their commute is going to be better. Certainly people that take in the commuter rail are going to benefit because they don't have to make that stop now, so their commute is quicker. And I got to tell you, I don't really see much for us. That stop is really the one thing that I think that is the most important piece of this development that we need. And I'm disappointed that I'm hearing that ain't gonna happen in 2040, until 2040 or maybe beyond that, because I'll be close to 70, and I'm not sure I'll be here, let alone if I'll be able to control my bodily functions. But so that's disappointing. That's very disappointing, and you should be disappointed because I'm certainly disappointed. And it's now time for us to let them know how disappointed we are. It's now time for us to let some of the institutions in this community let them know how disappointed we are and how we want this on their first priority when it comes to this project, not just our first priority. Because if they should benefit, we should benefit. So I certainly intend to stay focused and engaged in this process right to the end. I thank you guys because you have a thankless job sometimes, and you're out here taking the arrows, and I understand that you don't necessarily get to make all these decisions, but I do thank you for the process you put in place, and I want to thank all of you who took the time to attend these meetings for 3 years, but I hate to say it to you, this is the start line, not 3 years ago. We have to let them know what we want, and we have to be loud, and we have to be clear about what we want to know. Thank you.
Hey, that was fantastic.